Job shadowing is something that is really important when applying to a professional school as a pre-professional student. So how do you get involved with this in the first place, and how many hours are ideal when applying to these types of schools? Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Josh and I am a pre-med and pre-dental student currently in my undergraduate studies, approaching my senior year. Personally, the section easiest to complete for me on this professional school application is the job shadowing section. I can simply put how many hours I have because I've got enough. There's not a specific amount for the schools that I'm applying to, but there might be for yours. You can check on the website and you might get lucky enough where it does say you might need 150 hours to be considered competitive, you might need 200 hours, you might only need 50 hours. Looking at Harvard Dental itself, on their website it says that there's no specific amount required for their application. However, you're expected to have ample opportunity to expose yourself into the field. What this means is that you're going to want a job shadow, but how much you do it is really up to you. You might want 50 hours, you might want 250 hours. That just depends. I personally think it's better to job shadow a variety of specialties because then you know more or less what you want to or what you don't want to go into. I've job shadowed a couple doctors, but COVID made that really difficult. Same with dentists. I just finished one on Friday who owned a private practice, and I was able to job shadow her and see some things that I have never seen before, which was really interesting to me and kind of pushed me towards the field. I've also job shadowed a gastroenterologist who I thought was really awesome as a doctor, but the field itself didn't really appeal to me in the way where I'd want to do that for the rest of my life. That's something that you would want to know and that you learn from these job shadowing type of opportunities. So how do you go about getting these types of job shadowing opportunities in the first place? I think the easiest thing, personally from my experience, would be reaching out to those who you are a patient of. If I had skin problems in the past and I saw a dermatologist, if I broke my arm in the past and I saw an orthopedic surgeon, I can reach out to them directly because I have that prior connection of being one of their patients. The next best thing would be to reach out to family members' doctors. I ran out of doctors pretty quickly because I haven't had a ton of them in my life and I'm also pretty young. So what I did was ask both my parents, hey, do you have an orthopedic surgeon? Do you have a dentist? Do you have an orthodontist? Do you have a cardiologist? Whatever that may be, and get those phone numbers, emails, private practices so I can reach out to them directly and say, my parent is a patient of yours. I'm a pre-med student, pre-dental student, and I'm looking to get job shadowing hours. Here are some dates that work for me in the near future. I'm hoping to come in and job shadow you during that time. Thank you for your consideration, and then sign your name. This is just an example of what you can do. You can do whatever you want. If you want to make the wording completely different or sound better, go ahead and do that. This is just something that I noticed has worked for me in the past and hoping that it works for me in the future. Now, obviously, if you don't have a ton of connections and neither do immediate family members, then what you're going to want to do is simply look them up, even if you don't have that prior connection, and say what you want. I'm either a pre-med, pre-dental, pre-PA, pre-professional, whatever it may be student, hoping to job shadow on these couple of dates. Thank you for your consideration. Get back to me, or you can do it over a phone call, email. You might reach a receptionist, you might not get a response back for a couple of days, and because of this, you might want to reach out a little before you actually need those hours. If my application is due in 1 month, and with 2 weeks to spare, I reach out to doctors and I don't get a response for a week, then I have to cram all of them in, or try to, in a 1 week span. I might get really burnt out trying to do 12-hour shifts every day of the week, getting 84 hours in 1 week before my application is due, which might look good because it'll say I have 84 hours if I have 0 prior, but I might be completely dead at the end of that week with how many hours I am job shadowing how many different specialists. So essentially what you need to do if you're trying to job shadow is reach out to those people you have a specific connection with, either because you're a patient, because an immediate family member has a patient, and you have that prior connection. If not, you reach out to whoever you can, however you can, and try and get those job shadowing hours before your application is due. And again, the number of hours that you need depends on the school you're applying to. Some don't have any requirement at all, but you're going to want those because you know specifically what you want to go into more or less based on the amount of time you spend within those specialties. Because those doctors have been in your shoes in the past, they totally know that you need those job shadowing hours, and they are probably more than happy to let you in and job shadow them for a couple of days, if not more, to get those required hours. Hopefully you all did enjoy. If you did, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future content. You got this. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.